Growing up empowered, human digital enhancement, and I can, I choose, and I accomplish. I'm Marc Prensky. In my view, we all have a new job. No, maybe not everybody thinks they just got a new job, but we all did. And that new job is not just changing our pedagogy because we have these new digital enhancements. It's not just doing the same old curriculum in a new digital way. It's real-world accomplishment through continuous projects. That's a much better fit with the world the kids live in. Companies are moving to projects. They don't even have jobs anymore in some companies. They just have project after project after project. Project management is becoming one of the most important skills there is. And why do we want to do this? We do it so that young people can do three things at least. Big categories, realize their dreams, and every kid has dreams that I've ever met. Fix problems, and every kid that I've ever met sees problems. They care about some, they may not care about others. It's very individual. And help other people. And again, every young person has certain people that they want to help. Good, that's what they should do. Now our education is all about learning in advance and has no accomplishment whatsoever. Occasional capstone at the end of a year. We need to become these project coaches. We need to learn how to take a team of young people who wants to do something and make this happen. Make that project accomplish something and have an impact in the world. And what's nice about this is that we are not the only coaches there could be in the world. Once we look at what the young people need to do this way, well, they can get a coach from almost anywhere. If they're interested in space, they get a coach who knows about space. If they're interested in environment, they can find a coach who knows about environment. Some of them will be our teachers, but we can bring in every adult who has experience anywhere. So Sky, where does the best learning come? Does it come in advance, or does it come through accomplishing?
I think the best learning comes through accomplishing, just because a lot of what you do in school is, they will teach you in advance and it all adds up to a test. But before you take the test, you start to study, and that's just to recall all the information you already learned, which shows, you didn't retain it too well. But I think when you're doing like a real world project, like, maybe you're working on a car or something like that, if you just learn everything in advance, you're obviously going to be confused when you go in. But if someone is step by step there, you're doing it, and you're putting meaningful value to the information, I think that helps you retain the information a lot better.
Good. Well, those are two interesting things. First of all, if you learn too much information in advance, you can be confused. And second, you forget a lot of it before you ever start. Raise your hand if you've ever wanted to figure out how to do something and you went to YouTube. Right? That's what we do these days. We have this stuff on demand when we need it. The things I want to share with you is the two ships metaphor. I want to talk about two cruise ships. They're both nice. Both of them were outfitted with all this new technology. And the question is, which one will we sail on? Each of us has to make that choice. I'm going to give them names. One is the SS sailing ship Tradition, and the other is the SS Future. So which one are you going to sail on? Let's look at what they offer. If you sail on the SS Tradition, well, it's traditional. The aim will be to produce and measure learning. There'll be a preset time. It'll take a semester or a year, and a preset itinerary. It'll go from math to language to science to social studies and back again. The daily program will be preset. There'll be bells ringing all over that ship every hour or so telling you to move from one thing to another. You've got to attend everything that you've signed up for all the time. It will be full of books, because that's what Tradition is. It will have as many books as they can put on board, but not so many individual personal devices. In fact, in some places, they won't let you use those devices. They'll say, we have all the devices you need. Use our devices. You'll end up on this ship pretty much where you started, at your home port. That's what the cruise ships do in traditional ways. And when you come back to port, they'll give you a diploma that says, you completed this cruise. Congratulations. Okay, and the sister ship of the SS Tradition is the SS Learn and Advance. What if you make the other choice and you decide to sail on the SS Future, whose sister ship is Real World Accomplishment? Well, the first thing is you'll have a different aim. Your aim will not be learning, it will be to produce real world accomplishment. Not just on the ship, but off the ship, where you go. The time and itinerary will be variable. It will depend on the people who take the cruise. It's set by the passengers. In fact, you can do anything as long as you can show us that it makes a positive impact on the world, and we'll connect you to people on other ships who want to make similar impact. The activities will all be done in teams based on affinity. So the teams may be on the ship, they may be on the rest of the world. There will be no books on the ship whatsoever. There will be everything ever written electronically. Every movie ever made, anything that exists will be there electronically. You will therefore require your own personal device, and the best one that you can get your hands on. You can end up anywhere. You might discover a place where you like to be that's better. That's where you'll end up. And when you finish, they won't give you a diploma. They'll give you a resume of what you accomplished when you were on that ship. So which one are you going to sail on? It's up to everybody to choose the tradition or the future. You know which one I would recommend. Sky, what do you think? Would you prefer to sail on the SS Tradition or the SS the Future?
Personally, I see the benefits of both, but I think the future, just because you don't want to be stuck in the past or anything. And I also don't like physical books, but yeah, I would like the future.
Okay. And I think most young people will choose to sail on the future. So if we go the other way, we may not have any passengers who are under the age of 20, which would kind of be too bad. But here's something really important to understand. Neither ship is going to improve our PISA scores. And if that's your goal, if you think that the goal of what education does is make a country's PISA scores go up in those charts, neither of these ships is going to do that. And how do I know that? I know that from my own country's experience. In the United States, we put technology into all our schools. We had this huge digital enhancement program. Our scores didn't go up. In some cases, they went down. And what's even more interesting to me is that the places that got to the top of PISA, the Singapores, the Estonias, the Finlands, parts of China, they're all looking for new ways to do that. You may have heard that in Singapore, they made some big changes. In Finland, they made some big changes. So scores are really the wrong goal. If you need scores, now don't get me wrong, I understand that there's a system and kids take tests and they have to get scores and that's all important. We have this wonderful thing for you. It's called test preparation software. And that's what we use in America. If you have to pass the Scholastic Aptitude Test or any of these tests, you get the software, you use it, and the more you use it, the better you score on those tests. And that's all you have to do. The right goal, the goal that we want to be working on, is real-world accomplishment through projects. And people knew this a long time ago. This is from the 18th century. This is Thomas Carlyle, who said, nothing builds self-esteem and self-confidence like accomplishment. And I hope that's what we want for all our young people.